All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Today I have Ethan with me to help me on some of the very maybe unique questions that maybe come from attendees like yourself. And myself is JunLiang. I'm the trainer in Amazon Seller Education team. So thank you for joining on time. We're going to start right now. So today we'll talk about how you can prepare yourself for the upcoming Prime Day. So if you have any question, feel free to put it on the Q&A box on your right-hand side, and then we will be able to address it during the end of the session. All right, do note that the webinar recording link will be shared after the session, so don't worry if you miss out anything. And also on the QR code I will share later, where you can view all the past recordings, including the one later. And then again, to put in your questions at the end, we will have to address it at the Q&A box. All right. Okay, important notice, please take maybe like 5 seconds to read through this, and then we can move on after that. So if you can't speed read, just take note of the bold and underlined text. That should be fine. Okay, this is today's topic. We're going to talk about what is the sales peak season, how you can be prepared for the peak seasons, and the following topics we'll cover it through. And lastly, the Q&A. So, in Amazon, or rather, in most of the e-commerce, right, there's different time of the year where consumer will have different shopping needs. So it's the same in Amazon. So we know that in different time of the year, there are different season where we call the peak seasons. So during this period, right, Amazon actually have a range of promotional events spread across, and then things like the festive period, etc. So obviously you're here to know more about Prime Day. So Prime Day is actually one of our so-called sales peak seasons. And then we're going to share what are the promotional tools that you can actually leverage on to help to promote your sales on Amazon.com. All right, now that you know the Prime Day is coming, we will share on what are the kind of the best practice that you can actually leverage on your selections, on your listing, etc., and ads to help you get started. All right, we'll move in to look at selection first. What is selection? So it is something that you kind of need to plan ahead, perhaps several months in advance. Right now, maybe you may think might be too late already for Prime Day, since it's likely going to come out in about 2 months time, I guess. But you can still keep in mind because the next sales pick is probably for BFCM. So this is something that you can take note of. You should start like maybe planning a few months in advance. So first of all, what you do, you decide on what are the products that you are going to sell, what we call the portfolio of products. And then for new products that you are planning to promote it during Prime Day, you need to list them in advance and then try to use some of the merchandising tools, such as the discount coupons and other promotions tools to build up your volume and your ranking. Last but not least, you choose the type of products that you think is relevant to the different festive seasons. For example, what we see is that gift tends to be more popular during the Prime Day. So you need to take this time to really think about, so-called what are the products item that you're going to bring in, so that kind of aligns to your sales strategy, if any. All right, let's take a look about listing optimization. So these are the checklists we have. That's about 6. I think during the last session, we touched on a little bit more deeper. So for this time around, we'll just focus on the key things that you will probably need to focus on. Now, the first 2 items, which is the leaf node search terms, it is to help improve discoverability. So what it means is that the shoppers will be able to easily discover or find your items on Amazon.com. Let's say if you were to optimize these 2 points above. And then the next 4 following ones, such as the bullet points, the product images, description, A plus content is more for the completeness of your listing or catalog. That is for those features that once your shoppers landed on your listing, it will help them to make more informed decisions regarding the product, whether or not it fits what they're looking for, to help to get more consumer, or rather get more conversions, more sales for your listing and your products. So the last point is about, if you see the asterisk, A plus content right now is actually only exclusive to registered brand owner that is registered on what we call enroll on the Amazon brand registry. So besides that, right, the rest of the things is what you can do as of now, if you're not a brand owner, that you can do to actually enhance your listing. Okay, this is regarding the first 2 points. To improve the product discoverability, you make sure that your leaf notes and key attributes are actually set up properly, and also the search terms. Okay, make sure that your keywords are the keywords that customer usually would use it when they are searching and browsing on the platforms on Amazon.com. So just make sure to kind of read through the do's and don'ts. All right. So do's and don'ts are just the best practice that we would be sharing to you. So make sure you try to follow up on that so that your listing will be more optimized. Right. Try not to repeat any words in capital or in small letter. Just keep it consistent. Don't put any other irrelevant words. So there's going to be a few more details in the next few slides. So don't worry, you can rewatch the recording if you miss out any part, because some of it can be quite detailed. So that is something that you might want to relook at it when you have the time. So next, this is how you can complete or enhance your product catalog. So I put in some screenshots over on the left, and there are some numbering as well. You can follow through. Typically in your listing, there is the location where you will see where these things kind of appear. First of all is the product title. Take note, do not put any funny character, ASCII code, or special characters there. All right, and then don't miss out the crucial product information, something that is making your product the unique selling point. Ensure that it's actually being shown there, to be concise and informative. That's for the first one. Now, second part, there's a bullet point. If you can see on the left-hand side, right? Usually, on your screen where if you were to shop on Amazon.com as well, you can see there's only that few bullet points that will appear. So you keep it within like 4 to 5 bullet points. Be clear and be concise. And that bullet point, try to put the information that clearly describe your features and the benefits of the products, so that your shopper will easily understand what they are getting into, what kind of products that is useful for them, the benefits. And try to keep it below 1,000 character. Anything more, it might just become too messy for them. Next, at the number 3, all right, somewhere in the middle of the screenshot, you can see there's a very long string worded text that is actually the product description. All right, again, be concise and factual. Include the detail if you have anything such as your brand, vision, or product purposes, you can put it there. But again, try to keep it like a few lines, not to be too many, so that it won't be too much of an info for the shoppers to read. And the next most important thing is actually the images. I'm pretty sure you agree with that as well. So one look at this screenshot, the only thing that kind of first pop up is actually the image, right? How nice it kind of present your product. So try and have at least about 3 image. If you can have more good quality image, you can go up to 6, and then put in some good video. If you have that kind of asset as well, you should put it in. But ideally, you should have at least 3. and to have good quality ones so that the shopper can actually zoom in to look at, a closer view of the product that they are potentially interested in, right? So include the images from different angle, front, back, side view, depend on the product, maybe the top and the bottom view as well, just so that seller get a sense of what they are going to buy. And it should be a direct, or rather accurate representative of the actual item that they will be receiving, all right? Moving on, so during your listing, you will also have to choose which product category as well. So make sure you will have to select the right one. So I think this is probably at the leaf node phase. So you select the right product category that is associated with the product, so that it will appear at the right, when the shopper search for it, it will appear at the right category. So by selecting the wrong category, right, it may not really help them to discover your product. The next important point is, let's say your product is different variations, like what you see over here, like big, small, different sizes, different volume. You should also put it on a single listing as well, so that when you group similar product together, right, the customer can easily see and select the different types of the variations, or they don't have to go to another page to find it. That actually help to increase your sales as well, if they were to be able to find something that suits what they are looking for. All right, last but not least, the A plus content, which is only available to the brand registered sellers only. All right, these are the things that can further kind of elevate your listing. If you have a brand story you want to tell, you can write your brand story over here with the associated images, etc. Over here, where you can do slightly a lot more content over here compared to the typical one where most of the listing will look like. So when you unlock these as a brand registered sellers, you will be able to use this feature. All right. Okay, before we move on, just a recap. Again, these are the 6 key points or checklists that you need to look at to improve the discoverability, which is the leaf node search term, and also the completeness of your catalog and your product listing enhancement. All right, before we move on to the next one, just want to highlight again, if you have any question, do feel free to put it in the Q&A and we will address it at the end of the session. All right, on this slide, what you see is actually there's a feature that is to help you fix your listing issue. So it is called the listing quality dashboard. So over here, Amazon will run some what they call some checks, and based on what are the best practices that they can detect from your listing, they will show the recommendations. So once you have your listing, you should always come to check on this listing quality dashboard. All right, over here, they will actually prompt you the recommendations. What are the things that you should put in to help your product more easily discover? Things like, for example, what kind of sizes that is not clear. They will recommend you to put in the sizes, or put in things like, for example, if you're selling t-shirt or something, they will ask you to put in things like, is it a crew t-shirt, regular fit, or what kind of materials. So that recommendation will depend on which category that your product is listed in, and they will run, the backend system will actually do some check and identify things that they believe is useful to help you improve your listing. So do check in frequently, daily or weekly, to see what are the recommendations that the systems recommends you to make the changes, and do make the changes immediately, because again, once you make the changes, it will also take time to get it saved as well. All right, now that your listing has been so-called optimized, what else can you actually do to make your offer more attractive? That is the next topic we're going to talk about, promotions. So there's a couple of promotion tools available, and especially during Prime days. These are the promotion tools you can use to further boost your visibility and your traffic during the peak seasons. So we have like Prime exclusive discount, Prime member coupons, and other deals type, like lightning deals, top deals, Prime exclusive, best deals. So the next feels like might be a little bit dry, because there is going to be some eligibility that you can take note of to decide, or rather to know whether or not your product can run the type of promotions that we're going to share. Now, first of all, this is called the Prime exclusive discount. For those who are not aware, this is a price discount that is widely used across for the product that is eligible for FBA, which is a fulfillment by Amazon, and also some of the MFN products. And it is only exclusive to Prime members. So Prime member are like a subscription kind of membership that is available in Amazon. I think in Singapore we do have that as well, but in Amazon.com US they also have this Prime members subscription kind of membership. So to be eligible, there's a few note there. In order to be eligible, right, it has to be Prime shipping eligible item, and there is a minimum of a 15% discount off the basis price that you need to offer in order to have to use this promotion type. All right, and then the discount must be at least 20% off for the non-prime member non-promotional price. All right, and you must bid, or meaning that it has to be the lowest price during the last 30 days, and to be at least a 4-star seller rating if the rating is available, and then the rating of 3 stars or above, or no reviews. All right, so you can see there are some guardrails for these eligibility criteria set in place to make sure that the product being promoted are of a certain quality. All right, so that's a bit, there's also criteria for MFN offers. So if you are doing MFN, which stands for Merchant Fulfilled Network, I believe, that is you actually fulfill the product yourself. So there are some criteria as well over there. You can read it through as well. So there is a very different criteria, as you can see, depending on whether you are fulfilling your products using FBA or you're fulfilling using MFN. All right, so to do that, it's pretty simple. You log into your Seller Central, you go to advertising, and then you see the Prime exclusive discount option. In the next few slides, I will show you where is this. Okay, now step 1, like what I mentioned, Seller Central. All right, you can follow through if you actually have access. You can try to log into your Seller Central and check it out. So you go to the left navigation bar, and then you scroll to advertising, and then they're like the slide out menu, and then you go and see this Prime exclusive discount option. Once you click on that, they'll bring you to the next page, and then you can click create discount. Over here, they'll prompt you, give a name for your discount. So if you have like a naming convention, you have many discount, I would suggest you to keep it to a certain convention, so you know what kind of discounts you're offering, etc. Or if not, you can do the naming that suits you, and then make sure that you tick the checkbox. There is a checkbox there that ask you whether is this a Prime Day discount. So make sure that if your product is going to be a Prime Day promotion, do remember to check that box. All right. And then click on the save, and then you will add the products. So there are some guidelines there. Actually, when you go to the page on your right-hand side, there will already be some guidelines, that a list of things that kind of reminds you how to be eligible. So don't worry. So if you're eligible, you will be able to add successfully. So if let's say you don't have the eligible product, the system will likely won't allow you to do that. So do not worry too much. You can go ahead and try it. All right, let's say you do have eligible ASIN, or we call products, that can participate in the Prime Day. They'll bring you to this page where you can select which are the SKU, and then how much percent or what type of the discount type. Or is it amount, like how much amount off, or is it like how much percent discount that you are going to give during these promotions? All right, and what is the pricing, etc. When you think you are good with it, you just submit the product, and it should be able to go through. Now, realistically, there may be times your submission do not go through. This is what we call, like, being suppressed, meaning that your discount was suppressed due to certain reasons. And these are the reasons that is commonly appearing. So for the first one, like, if it's the price, you need to ensure that your discount met the PED, stands for Prime Exclusive Discount. You need to meet the PED criteria. All right. So even though maybe the system lets you, submit, but then again, if it realizes that the discount criteria is not eligible, you will see this popping up. All right. Or let's say the next one is, they will say that there's no FBA offer available. So if your ASIN that you want to set for promotion is on merchant fulfill, you will need to change it to Amazon fulfill, the FBA option. So another one you commonly will likely see is that it says no valid reference price, or sometimes it's called VRP as well. So you ensure that your field, there's a recommended retail price field in Seller Central, all right? Or if you're using flat file, it's called list_price. You need to make sure that it reflects an actual price that your product is sold or has been sold recently. Or if not, your eligibility will be affected, or in a way your discount will be suppressed. All right. So last but not least, if let's say these are the reasons probably not listed here, or things that you are not able to resolve it on your end, you will use the feature to contact seller support. They will be able to look into your account to see and advise what is the issue of getting your discount eligible, to remove it from being suppressed. One thing I want to make sure that everybody aware is that in Amazon, you can create multiple promotion and discount on the same product, but I think the way that the discount is being stacked is a little bit different. So make sure that you go through the Q&A, or rather the FAQ. You go to your Seller Central, you search for discount FAQ to learn more on how these promotions can be stacked upon. Which is why please make sure that creating too many promotion on maybe the same product, it can result in customer who actually using up all this promotion, and they get a lot more significant discount that you actually intended them to have. So do take note of this. Okay, I hope you're still with me. All right, any question? Remember to use the Q&A box. All right, the next one I'm going to talk about is called coupons. I think in US they call coupons. So it's a little bit like voucher as well, but it's called Prime Day coupons. Okay, this is like a point of sale promotion offered usually on a single product or a set of product. And it is also exclusively for Amazon Prime member only. All right. So again, there are some criterias over here. You can quickly glance through. So the criteria is that minimally to use the Prime member coupon, you will be suggested to have at least minimum of 20% discount off the current price. And then on your customer segment targeting, you got to set it to Amazon Prime. And your ASIN, your product must be Prime eligible. And also a coupon title. So make sure your coupon title has, proper word, meaning that it does not have any offensive word or, showing explicitly what the discount percentages or referring to specific events in the coupon title, because this is not compliance with the requirements. If you do that, your coupon, or rather this will be deactivated. One thing to take note, there is a redemption fee. I believe it's about 60 cents. So for every coupon that is being redeemed, there is a 60-cent charges by Amazon. All right. So you may think, what if you want to cancel? You can cancel a coupon anytime. So in the option, there will be one of the button for you to deactivate. But do know that the cancellation may not be immediately. It will kind of take a bit of time to trickle down the cancellations. And during this period, if there are customers who already click or save the coupon, they can still use it. I think there's a time frame for that. So if they do use it, again, there is a redemption fee charge as well. Do take note of that. This is just a guide where you can find the coupons. Now, coupon is also at advertising tab. On your left, go to advertising. Similarly, there's the place where you can find Prime exclusive discount. In that same navigation, you can see coupons. All right. And then select your first coupon and create a new coupon. So just take note that the actual coupon scheduling date is not out yet. So we will send it out via email when the date is finalized. All right, let's say you were to schedule it, you can search for the ASINs that you want to set some coupon on it to give promotion discount. All right, so this is just the next step that you can see all your relevant ASINs appearing. And then this is the part where you set your your schedule, your budget that you want, and what is the discount value, and then just click on save, and you are good to go. Okay, I hope you're still with me. All right, the last one I want to talk about is deals. All right, but note that the submission window for Prime Day deals is already closed. Don't worry, but just be aware that for deals, there's actually a submission windows. So if you have received like a deal recommendation and submitted it, congratulations. All right. So in the next few pages, I'll be sharing with you on what are the next steps. But for those who do not have any deals, recommendation or not create any deals, don't worry. Typically it will take time. Sometimes maybe 3 months or longer, depending on the sales velocity. And only then you will be able to receive some deals recommendations, right? Because there are some minimum requirements that you see over here in order to be eligible for deals. So time to, work hard and get more sales so that it will be ready for the next sales seasons, which is likely the um, BFCM. And then you might see some deals recommendations. All right, talking about deals, there is this thing called lightning deals. Lightning deals ran for several hours on the event page. So there will be like a page that shows all the lightning deals. And then these are usually limited quantity deals. You can also set what is the maximum number of quantities that you want to actually run these lightning deals. All right. So there is another thing called top deals. So typically customers in Amazon recognize top deals as our Amazon most exciting products. And it's usually offered at a very good discounts, especially during Prime Day. Right. And also the last one is the Prime exclusive best deal. Right. This is the deal that's appearing on Prime Day. They will have this, badge at the site that shows it's a Prime Day deals badge. They will run on the actual day of the Prime Day. All right. So, well, if you have already submitted deals, monitor Seller Central for the deal schedule. This is what I was saying, the do's and don'ts of the deals. Okay, monitor the status. You ensure that it meets the eligible criteria so that it doesn't get suppressed during the actual Prime Day. Next is also inventory wise. Make sure that you already have the inventory on the way to kind of stock it up for the items or product that is running on deals. You don't want it to be out of stock during Prime Day, right? And then earlier on we talked about optimizing your listing. So yeah, make sure that you have very good and rich product detail pages. And if you are a brand registered seller, do work on your A plus content as well. So the don't is very important as well. Don't try to change the pricing, like during or rather within 24 hours of the time that your deal is supposed to go on, because it will actually cause some suppression of your deals, meaning that your deals may be cancelled automatically if you were to change it during that period. Again, do not close the listing. It will cancel any deal that is being scheduled. All right. And again, once you cancel it, right, you will not be able to reactivate it anymore. So the other 2 points more like creating new child ASIN. Don't do this during when you already have a deal being scheduled, because any changes to it, right, the system will try to revalidate the ASINs, and it will also cause the deals to be suppressed during the Prime Day. Last but not least, your images, make sure that it is reflecting the right images. There's no any other not compliance kind of images. And it has to be good quality as well, or you will have a risk of it being suppressed too. So how do you troubleshoot? So in the event that you have a deal that is being suppressed, not showing up, there is a couple of reasons here. Typically, it might be the deal price too high. So what you need to do, reduce your deal price so that it meets or is lower than the maximum deal price. Or your deal quantity is too low. There is actually like a minimum deal quantity thing. You might want to increase it. Or let's say you do not have sufficient inventory, like earlier on I mentioned, make sure that you have sufficient inventory, because if you do not have, you will also have this issue as well, that your deal may be suppressed. all right? But if you do have incoming shipment, right, the suppression will be lifted once the fulfillment center receive and record your inventory, all right? Next one is a non-compliant child ASIN. Again, check your account health dashboard. There may be some non-compliant issues over there that you need to resolve for that particular ASIN. Last but not least is the no FBA offer available. Right, you have to change it to Amazon Fulfilled option so that it will not be suppressed. Again, the orangey red, I think it's orange color box over there, your issue has to be resolved at least 25 hours before the scheduled due time to avoid cancellation. So, which is why we always say, you know, go into your seller central to always check at least, you know, a week before, make sure that everything is in place so that you have sufficient time to rectify it, if any. Mm. And typically when you go into the page, right, if there's any issue with it, like you see on the lower left screenshot, it's actually right, you know, in your face, they will pop up to say, oh, you have some deals that need your attention. So that is where you know that you do have some deals being suppressed. So do not, you know, ignore those notifications when you log into Seller Central. Okay. Okay, next thing we're going to talk about is Amazon ads. So you know we have a couple of ads product, like sponsor product, sponsor brands, and also sponsor display. So each of these have a different purposes and objective. So depending on what you're going to do with it. Now, sponsor product is actually a cost per click ad CPC. So you only pay when somebody clicks on it. All right. So why or when do you use sponsor product is when you want to increase the visibility of an individual product. All right. So these will appear in the shopping results, the product page, etc. When the shopper is shopping on Amazon.com, you can see there's a small little tag that says sponsored. So that's its sponsored products. All right. And for sponsored brands as well, again, it's also a CPC ad. It helps your shopper, your customer to discover and engage with your brands. So for this, you can do a little bit more in terms of what are the ads creative that can put in together. So you can use different format to kind of showcase the products that you want to showcase, your brand story, etc. Okay, the last one we have is sponsored display. So sponsored display is more like driving awareness and consideration. So it will kind of automatically generate depending on you know how you set up the targeting, and then your ads will appear on and also off Amazon.com. So some of it I believe is like maybe like Twitch or other Amazon owned platforms. So it will appear not just Amazon.com, it will appear off Amazon site as well if you are using a sponsored display. All right, and there's a few more targeting feature available, including audience-based targeting, etc. for sponsored display. So the last one, which is the sponsored brand, sponsored display, where we call SB or SD, this tool is only available for the brand registered seller again. All right, but if you're not brand registered seller, don't worry, you can still use Amazon ads on sponsored products. Wow, this is a big image over here. But this is basically like more like how you can prepare using if you want to run ads. So there's a lot of things here, but we've just focused on the key point. Is first of all, 1 to 2 months before your peak season, you will want to start consider ads. All right. And then you think of what is your objective that you want to run ads during Prime Day. Do you want to promote your new product? Do you want to boost your sales, or you just want to clear your existing inventory? Because you would need to have, different advertising approach depending on your objective. So if you have like a smaller budget and you want to focus on maybe only one or a few product, we recommend you to go with like your top selling product that you know have been proven high performance when you ran ads. And the reason why we ask you to start your preparation early is just so that when you start your ad campaign early, you can go into your ads console and you can see which are the keywords that is performing well, which ASIN, etc., so that you can continuously optimize before the Prime Day. And we have this on the lower left, very nice, like a quadrant thing, that is the BCG metrics. So basically, it's just telling you, depending on what is your objective, uh, what category of the ASIN that you can choose when you are thinking about running your ads. So basically, it's classified into four main categories: your main ASIN, your potential ASIN, your long tail ASIN, and also your emerging ASIN. Now, based on this, right, once you selected, you kind of decided what you want to focus on, and you make sure you set a so-called the high price bid during your ad campaign to make sure that you don't run out of budget halfway. That will actually result in some lost opportunities, all right? So what I was talking is on the second part of the screenshot, which is on the right side over here, which is the part two. Point two, during the peak season, you set the different targeting settings for different ASIN. This is just a guideline again. It really depends on how you want to strategize it, but this is a good guideline over here. So for main ASIN, if your goal is to boost sales, then do your budget allocation to high. And then what's your bid strategy? This is the bidding strategy that you can set it up in the ads console. All right. And then what are your keyword strategy and targeting, etc. All right. So you can actually create your own ads account, or if you have a Seller Central account, you can create your ads account. There's no extra fee involved. You can go in and create something to test around the features over there to see what are the available setup that you can use to kind of customize your ad campaign. So after Prime Day, let's say everything is over, Prime Day is over, try to maintain your ad campaign to continue to maintain the visibility. That would also kind of write on the halo effects, because sometimes when people receive their product, they might be sharing with their friends or whatever, and then they might still go to Amazon and still search for certain products. And if your ads is still active, it will actually improve the discoverability and get more sales opportunity as well. So don't worry, we do have a couple of like ads webinar as well that is really going very deep into Amazon ads and how you can optimize it. So you check it out, the webinar events page that I was talking about. There's very in-depth session conducted by our ads team if you want to know more about how you can do more with ads. All right, we're going to move on to inventory and the logistic part. So now that you have do a lot of things that we talk about, you boost your sales, your promotion, you run ads, etc. Everything is very promising right now. So it's probably a good time to make sure you still have sufficient inventory to sell. These are the key points. First of all, you ensure you have sufficient stocks. especially for items you're running deals, that you're running promotions on. And then for your best-selling item, try to add on even more stocks even after Prime Day, like I mentioned earlier on, to enjoy this halo effect. And then don't forget to also factor in the inbound periods. So it takes time to ship to the fulfillment center, so do consider that as well. And if you happen to have excess of old age inventory, you can consider kind of depleting it during Prime Day by running promotions, etc. So apparently, if you have too much excess stock, it can kind of impact your inventory performance and your inventory storage limits. So these are the metrics for the storage. And then in the long run, that may impact your sales as well if you do not have a good standing in terms of your inventory performance, right? All right, last but not least, the cutoff date for the inbound for your inventory in order to be able to run your promotion during Prime Day is actually 15 June. So if your store is actually already on the way, that's very good. All right, and then make sure to reduce your redundant inventory, increase your sell-through rate over the weeks of cover, meaning that the based on your inventory and your sales velocity, whether or not you have enough stocks to cover the sales or not, right? So these are just some repeated suggestions and advice. Okay, the last part is pretty quick. Account health. There is a section in your Seller Central which is your account health. So you ensure that it is in good shape by going into the account health page and then look at whether is there any red color things popping up. So if everything is good, right, your account health should be on the green side of things. If not, if there's any notification or pop-up that wants you to look at it, please do address it as soon as possible, because some of it may require you to maybe provide certain documents, etc., which will take time. So you don't want your inventory or whatever your ASINs that is running on promotions to be affected due to account health issue. So monitor your account health daily. In June, we are coming to June already, up until Prime Day. So this is just the timeline checklist. I think we are probably, in the middle of the line already. It's late May and June next week or so already. So look at, the next two part is maybe a week before Prime Day. Ensure your key products are active. Act like you are your own customer. You view your own product on Amazon and start thinking about where else you can optimize. And do some comparison on the products or listing that you think are very good. Try to think of, how does yours compares to the, competitors in terms of the visual wise, the listing, whether your products appear when you search for it, and consider if you have budget, set up your advertising, and in case if it's out of stock, what kind of backup plans you have, etc. And on the day of itself, allocate some time to track your sales performance, etc. Keep on your eye on your competitors, and you can adjust your strategy accordingly on the day of, the Prime Day itself. And, probably be active and revisit your plan again. Relook at your backup plan in case there's any situation like, you ran out of stocks. Suddenly, a lot of sales from a certain ASINs, what are you going to do if that happens? Think about the potential case that could happen during Prime Day. That will be very good. And we are going to move on to the Q&A part shortly. So before that, right, if you could take out your phone, we have very good new Prime Day FAQ one pager that is created by Seller University. I'll leave it here some time for you to scan. You don't have to read those PDF now. Maybe just scan it and open up in your mobile browser. You can save it, and it's going to be very handy. So we have things talking about listing, and then the second one is about ads, and then the last one is about FBA inventory. I'll leave it here for 5 seconds. And at the same time, put in your questions in the Q&A box. Everybody good? You scanned these 3 QR code already? Right, even if you did not, but don't worry, on the follow-up email, we will also share the links to all these material, this content as well. All right, the next one I want to share also, this is where you can go to Seller University. So on the Seller Central, when you see the navigation, go to the last one, which is the Learn, and then you can see Seller University. So this is where all the updated information and content can be found. And then there is also a lot of like a bite-sized kind of information over there as well. So some of the info that I shared in the previous slide, these 3, or if you search on the Seller University page, you can also find it there. So when you reach the Seller University page, right, you can see there's a lot of content, really a lot, but don't worry because it's categorized into different topics on the left side. So, depending on what is your need, yep, just look at it, and you will have to track your progress as well, like which are the content that you have built halfway, etc. So do check it out on Seller University for more information that you want to find out on a specific topic. All right, we have reached the Q&A part. And again, a couple of more QR code as well. I would really appreciate your help if you can help to do the short survey on the first QR code. And then the second one is where there's a very nice microsite for Prime Day, where there's a host of the events that we are running through before Prime Day. Check out the link there to sign up for other events. We have live webinar, we have in-person events as well. And last but not least, which is the Seller University resources. One of the questions I think we have from Irene, how do we ensure we selected the correct or accurate category? Right, so the response from Ethan is that usually we will advise seller to, first of all, check what category other similar product is listing on Amazon.com. And then secondly, under the add a product tool, you can directly key in the product you wish to sell, and it will generate the most relevant category you can list under. Ooh. What is the second one? Okay. Now, second question, can we start creating Prime Day discount now? So the answer is, if you are eligible for Prime Day exclusive discount, you should be able to start scheduling it now. Now, if you wish to create Prime member coupon instead, you will need to wait till the Prime Day dates are announced. So do keep a lookout for our emails. Next one is, if we can, will the discount be only active during the actual Prime Day? So yes, it is typically set to Prime Day window only, and is usually active for 2 to 4 days. How to enroll the deal? I can't find that I can create the deal. And the reason is, if you're unable to see a deal recommendation on the deal page, it means that your ASIN are ineligible to create deals. Now, we recommend you to run a Prime exclusive discount or Prime member coupon instead. Okay, the last question is, understand that the inventory cutoff date for Prime Day is 15 June, but are we allowed to send in replenishment if the inventories are relatively low? Yes, you can continue to send in replenishments. Amazon will still continue to check in products every day. Just that if your inventory arrives at the fulfillment center after 15th June, we won't be able to guarantee that your shipment will be fully checked in before Prime Day happens. Okay, that's all the questions we have. Any more questions? If not, I think we can end on time already. But before that, just the last bit of info, which is make sure you put in your feedback on the QR code, and then these are just the list of the upcoming live webinars that we have in the coming June. It's not up on the website yet, so do keep a lookout. And then we have very active Facebook seller community page as well on the last QR code. Do go and join if you have not. And of course, there's where you can watch the recordings and also the webinars sign up page. All right, that's all I have. Thank you, everyone. See you all next time. Bye-bye.